Hey people, it is Thursday, August the 11th. The time is 11:34 in the morning. It's currently 23 degrees Celsius. I'm here on the corner of Queen Street West and Spadina Avenue. And I'll be taking a walk west here on Queen and then making my way up through and around the Alexandra Park neighborhood. So I'll mostly be kind of semi-zigzagging between Queen and Dundas, although many of these streets in the Alexandra Park neighborhood don't go all the way through from Queen to Dundas, so I might have to weave my way through some pathways and walkways between the buildings of the neighborhood. Alexandra Park is an old housing project, one of the oldest, along with Regent Park. Regent Park is on the east side of downtown, and Alexandra Park is here on the west side of downtown. And both of these old housing projects are in the process of being redeveloped, where the old buildings are being torn down and replaced with some new buildings, and more of a mixed-use nature is also being implemented. So there's a mix of rental, rent-geared income, and condo units. It's been a while since I've walked around this neighborhood, and I think some of the redevelopment has progressed quite a bit since the last time. So there's an application here for a 15 and 17 story residential building by the looks of it, with 264 guest rooms. Maybe it's a hotel and a residential building. And that will replace this parking lot. And this is one of the newer buildings. We're here on Cameron Street right now, heading north. And we're kind of on the western side of Chinatown here as well. Chinatown and Alexandra Park sort of blend into each other. Spadina Avenue is just the next street over to the east. We're coming into some of the older buildings in the neighborhood. So this doesn't head all the way up to Dundas Street, so as I mentioned, I'm going to sort of weave my way through the streets of the neighborhood. So here, there's some of the older buildings on the right and some new buildings on the left. I think the oldest of these buildings date back to the late 1940s or early 1950s. And Regent Park on the east side also dates back to the same time period when it was first developed. Here's another one of the new buildings. As you look south, you can see the towers of the Well development off in the distance. And Queen Street down at the end of this block here. Vanalue Street. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that correctly. And there's a look into the old part of the neighborhood. A lot of these buildings are boarded up already, awaiting imminent demolition. I'm not sure if this building will be coming down. This one might be staying. And here's Augusta Avenue. Let's look at the Atkinson Co-op. And I see another development proposal sign over here, although it's going to be pretty hard to read this. Demolish and replace 339, I think, row house and apartments. Renovate and retain 473 apartments. This isn't as dramatic a redevelopment as the Regent Park neighborhood. I think all of the old units in Regent Park are going to be replaced, or it seems like here they're going to retain some of them. The Alexandra Park Apartments. I'm pretty sure this building is staying also. Not sure where this pathway will take me.
They were so fucking
Looks like it might take me over to Dundas Street. And this was a large section of older buildings. It's been all cleared to make way for some new buildings on site. And there's the CN Tower. And here we are, one of the remaining older sections. Seems kind of a mishmash. It seems as though some units are still occupied while other ones are vacant and boarded up. Here's a map of, I think, what the neighborhood looked like before the redevelopment began. Before I head to Dundas, let's take a peek over here. See more of the old buildings. These all seem to still be occupied. But then next door to this unit, we have some more boarded up ones. Take a little peek inside here. Not sure if I'll be able to get out to Dundas Street through this way. I don't know if I might have to double back. And it looks like I have to double back. In any case, another mix of vacant and occupied. And here's Dundas Street, and just across the street is Kensington Market. And just to the south is Chinatown. There might be some renderings on the construction hoarding up ahead here. It shows us what the new buildings will look like on this lot that's beginning redevelopment. And there's a look down Augusta. I guess not. There used to be like wooden hoarding here with pictures and renderings of the new development, but it seems like they removed them and put this fence up instead. I seem to remember the buildings look quite nice. They're mid-rise buildings. There's a fair amount of density. Much more density than the older buildings had that they'll be replacing. That's a very good restaurant right there, by the way. Let's head down this pathway. I don't think I've ever taken this before, or maybe I have one time. It's really just the sidewalk, I suppose. The street is all dug up for construction. There's a neighborhood school. I think it might be just called Alexandra Park School. Have to double check that. Okay, it's Ryerson Community School. Got a handy sign right here. Clue me in.
Of the pen or any such box. Wait until you go there and make it to enter the set. Know the location of any buried surface such as gas mask.
It's kind of a cool shot with the CN Tower. poking above some old pre-war housing. Just making our way south along Denison Avenue. There's another building, Alexandra Park Cooperative. And the neighborhood does extend west to Bathurst Street, which is the next major street west of here. And I wonder how long this parking lot will remain. Looks ripe for the picking for some residential density. These alleyways make for an interesting walk all on their own, and I have done some videos walking through here before. And now we're back on Queen Street. Let's look down Portland. Portland Street is seeing a ton of development. And this is somewhat sleepy, low-slung street. not all that long ago. Now it's being transformed with mid-rise residential buildings. And it also has a lot of nightlife, bars and restaurants. Right, and here's Ryerson Avenue, so I think I'm gonna head up here. Here's Wolseley Street. Take this over to Bathurst. This is an interesting building here. Theater Passé Murel. Theater Passé Murel. I'm probably not pronouncing that correctly. And here we have some old classic Toronto style row houses. Ah, and the sun just hid behind some clouds. Man, it feels quite good. It's a bit much for me here. I don't think I've ever noticed this alleyway before. I think it just leads up to the next street. We have found Bathurst Street. The streetcar loop. I wonder if that place is still operating. Oak leaf steam baths. I think that's what it used to be called when the sign was intact. Private rooms, open 24 hours. You never know with these places. They might look abandoned and boarded up, but they might actually still be open for business. Much of Bathurst in the downtown stretch has a bit of a gritty, run-down look to it. And it alternates between stretches of residential and commercial along its length. It's never solidly one or the other. And here's Alexandra Park, the actual park. It's a nice looking Orthodox church. Somebody doesn't like Alexandra Park. That graffiti means what I think it means. There was a pretty fair-sized tent city in here not all that long ago. Looks like tent city has been removed. Not sure if it was the city that did it or if they willingly relocated somewhere else. Here's a Buddhist temple. And a neighborhood skate park. And does this work? I'm always curious if these things work or not. I don't want to pick up the receiver to find out. Here's a local library branch.
Oh, where? Where?
Here we are at Dundas and Bathurst. This is a very busy corner. And this is also the northwest corner of the Alexandra Park neighborhood. So I'm going to start wrapping up the video here. See if we can get a good shot of the skyline from this corner. There we go, the financial district. So I hope you enjoyed the walk through the Alexandra Park neighborhood. Kind of weaved to and fro. We covered most of the neighborhood, maybe missed a few sections here and there. So in the next few years, if I did another walkthrough, it'd probably look drastically different once all those older sections are completely demolished and replaced with new buildings. So leave a comment below. Let me know your thoughts on the urban renewal of Toronto's old downtown housing projects. Got Regent Park and Alexandra Park on the east and west sides of downtown. And be sure to like, share, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And also make sure you hit that notification bell. That way you won't miss any of my videos. And if you'd like to support the channel, there are links in the description where you can do so via PayPal, as well as via my merch store and the recently enabled Super Thanks button down below. And you can also find me on Instagram under KContinuum. So thanks for watching, and be sure to keep checking back because, as always, I will continue.